throughout the entire game. Then you can of course head over to epiclive.gg where you can check out all the players' cams as the game's going on, of course be accompanied by our lovely voices. And the game, I think, is like a whole big setup you can do there. It's a really awesome website. You could definitely check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's talk about the drafting a little bit. So, Mineski, they really like this gyrocopter, these big team fight heroes. We've seen the Tide Hunter, the Pango a few times. We've seen the Death Prophet. We've seen
Sorry, the camera's gone to Ice Ice, so I'm expecting Death Eyes coming out soon.
Oh no.
But apparently he's distracted. Got the morning blues, perhaps. Yeah, a little bit sleepy.
Yeah, so but Ninja Boogie as well. He's been playing these disruptors, these warlocks, these big team fight heroes too.
He's gone.
Yeah, just wake him up. Wake him up when the draft's over.
Aww. Like a baby.
Sing him a lullaby. Oh, here we go. Mineski back to some classics.
Alrighty then, pulling out the Nature's Prophet, which is definitely a hero I actually like to see them on.
True, very true. And they play this hero super well. Jabs is an amazing Nature's Prophet player. This is the reason it's banned out so many times against them, and I'm amazed that Empire actually haven't banned it out. And again, equally as not a shock to see Mineski pick it up in the first phase. And there's the Disco Pony that we've seen, it feels like, every game so far. And this is an opening that we've seen a few teams go with now.
Yeah, the Disco Pony and the Space Cow.
Exactly.
You know, it just sounds like a duo made in heaven, to be honest.
That's true. And it's a really strong, if they could run the Lesh as a 4, we've seen it run as a core this tournament as well. I think most of the time it's been a 4, but we've seen it as a 3, a 2, absolutely crazy. So if this is the support combo, it gives them some really good kill potential. They have some great vision coming out from the Spirit Breaker as well, and obviously when he gets that extra night range vision at level 10, that really helps the ganking potential too. And obviously Spirit Breaker is a fantastic hero against Nature's Prophet. It makes it such a difficult Nature's Prophet game when the Spirit Breaker can just charge you from the other side of the map, and they always have that really good catch potential. And especially with the Lesh to follow up too, I think it's going to be a difficult one for, I assume it's going to be Jabs on the Nature's Prophet. And there you go, there's the Mushi Gyrocopter. And you see it's been picked for him 3 times already this tournament, and he's given a pretty good performance on all of those 3 games, I would say.
Yeah, he loves his hero. Mushi is a big Gyro fan, I feel. And, you know, it's exactly a Mushi hero, isn't it? Like, Mushi's not a kind of carry which likes to sit and hit creeps all game. He wants to get up in your face as early as possible and basically just get into the game the moment he can. And Gyrocopter's exactly the kind of hero that can do that right now. Yeah,
it's definitely. We've seen him rotate to this mid lane so many times. He gets to level 6, and, you know, he's like, most people will go, oh, yes, I can farm efficiently now. I'm going to push the wave out and go back to the jungle. Mushi says, no, I'm going to head over to your mid tower. I'm going to use cooldown, and we're going to fight around Moon's hero, like the DKs or the Death Prophets and such, and we're going to take your tier 1 really early. And that kind of opens up the map for you. And I think it's a fantastic way to play for Mineski.
Yeah, and what we always see is like he farmed to jungle or farmed to creep wave and then just comes in the middle lane, like on the high ground behind the tower, which is like super aggressive for a character to do early on, but you know, with the cooldown, he can make it work.
Empire have some really good counter potential though in the Lesh and the Spirit Breaker. Obviously some decent lockdown between those 2 heroes at the start, and we've seen how much damage this Lightning Storm and the Pulse Nova can do early on. It's pretty crazy. We've seen Lesh getting solo kills all over the place.
Absolutely.
So I think we get the Nyx ban by Empire. I think that's not too surprising when they have the Lesh on their team. Maybe showing that they might want to play this Lesh as a core, possibly. We'll have to see. Sounds like I think FN has played it this tournament already. Not too surprising. And the Lifestealer ban by Mineski, obviously very good. He already has the vehicle in the Spirit Breaker to help him. And it's also a good matchup against the Gyrocopter. Lifestealer kind of just gets in his face relatively early on when Gyrocopter wants to be kind of doing the same thing, but he just can't against the Lifestealer.
Sure, absolutely. So this Nature's Prophet, I'm assuming it's probably going to be played as a 4, but of course it's a nice versatile pick, so you can play it anywhere. What do we want to see Ice Ice on today? I
was about to say not the Omni Knight.
Yes.
So I'm very happy that Empire have banned it.
Oh, good. That's a saving grace.
I feel like we've talked about this a lot in the games that they've played before, where when Ice kind of plays these Omni Knights, these Underlords, these kind of very almost static heroes, feels like he doesn't do as much work as when he plays the Tides, Pangos, and the Centaurs even, things that really get involved, these teamfight heroes that get stuck in, rotate early on, and can do so much work, because I feel that's where his strengths lie. So hopefully we get to see Mineski pick up one of those kind of heroes in this game. So what are we going to get here from a ban from Mineski? They are taking a little bit of time thinking about it. They have some decent catch on Empire already.
You know, I remember you looking through the stats earlier and seeing that most teams ban out the Bane versus Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Not so this game, and they haven't picked it up either. So
yeah, I think every game so far people have banned Bane against Empire. So obviously maybe a bit of a wasted ban when Empire don't want to pick it up here. But at the same time,
they're just sitting there. Why is everybody banning Bane against us? We don't care about that here.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet's okay against Bane though, in that sense.
The Axe ban. We have seen Axe coming a little bit back into fashion here. Apparently, red is the color of the season. Because they played him yesterday. I believe, was it Liquid played them? Played him.
Yeah, Liquid have been picking it against a few teams now. They've done the Axe Sky before, and I think I'm not sure they would have picked Axe necessarily, but it's a pretty good matchup against the Gyro, especially if Mushi wants to go for this Aghanims on the Gyrocopter. If you've ever done this before, it's absolutely horrible trying to play Gyrocopter Axe into a Blade Mail hero, and you never ever want to do that because they just run at you, they activate the Blade Mail, you're trying to run away and you're still taking damage because your side gunner's like, no, let me hit them.
Yeah, I actually really would have liked to see the Axe because it works really well versus the Prophet as well. You know, if that Prophet's going to split push and Axe jumps on him with all the treants attacking him as well, then that's going to be one dead Prophet.
That's true. Oh, so here we go. This is going to be the Ghost Stick Legion Commander. Again, but it's kind of like the Axe. You have this big Blink Blade Mail here on top of the Gyro. Yeah. And it's even more catch for this Nature's Prophet now. So they have the Spirit Breaker, the Legion, and they have such good pick-off potential now in Empire.
Face of pure concentration there from Empire.
My only worry is that they don't have apart from the Lesh does a decent amount of damage actually. That's a lie. I was going to say they don't do much damage, but okay, this is probably going to be Moon's hero. This is what I was talking about. They kind of do this dual lane Mineski where they pressure the enemy safe lane, just do the dual lanes that we see so often now from a lot of teams, and then just leave Moon in the mid lane, kind of let him get his level 6, and then the supports rotate when he hits that timing. I'd like to see him get an early point in stun as well, so when they do rotate on the supports, there's some fantastic kill potential on the DK, and try and just rotate, kill this tower early on, and I think it just adds to their pushing power completely here with the Nature's Prophet too.
Okay then, well, next pick coming up from Empire. Can we predict a pick here? What are we expecting?
I think they might want to pick their... If they want to play FN on this Leshrac, they need to probably pick their... I imagine it's going to be a Spirit Breaker 5. So they want to pick their position 4 here. The Sand King banned... Yeah, sorry, the Sand King was banned out in the first phase. So they kind of only... They've played Sky 3 times this tournament.
Mindstalk's actually first banned by Empire as well. Yeah,
obviously Jabs has been playing that a few times for Mineski. Yeah. Obviously, it's been a bit of a flavour this tournament, the Night Stalker, I feel like. He's been appearing a lot more than before, especially in the off lane. Okay, so no, they do pick them. I assume that's going to be their mid hero now. So this is interesting now because I talked about almost their lack of damage. It feels like they've got a huge amounts of burst damage now, and this Lina matches up really well against the DK in the mid lane. Obviously, Lina being able to keep her distance, just push the wave in with the Dragon Slave. Maybe kind of like a trade farm lane, this Lina DK, but this Lina's going to rotate relatively early on, and again, this just adds more catch to Team Empire.
Sure, absolutely.
Which is, they have so many different ways to initiate now where it doesn't matter who gets jumped on, even if one of their initiators gets gone on, they still have another way to be able to follow up into Mineski.
But then again, you got Gyrocopter and Dragonite. I mean, sure, Prophet does suffer from this, but the DK and the Gyrocopter, they're not that worried about being jumped on. I mean, I guess Gyrocopter to an extent, sure, but DK is just one of these heroes which kind of just hangs out. Not fantastic versus the magical damage from Lina, sure, but you know he's always got that health regen, and he's a pretty difficult dude to bring down.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see Ice on this Pango. Yeah,
100% win rate.
We've seen it twice already, and he's been doing some amazing things on this hero. I think the second game he played that we cast, he was just the rolling thunders that he was getting off, and just blinking in the perfect angles back off the cliffs to come back and hit the maximum amount of heroes on the second roll through was absolutely fantastic. And
the dude knows how to bowl, that's for sure. He can knock him down.
Definitely a professional. So Mineski here with their last pick. I imagine it's probably going to be so it's going to be the Nature's Prophet position 4. They need to actually they're leaving their position 5 for last for Ninja Boogie. He's been going for a bit of Disruptor, a bit of Warlock, a bit of Jakiro, and this was the 4th one I was going to say, the Venge. So he plays this really hard position 5 Venge, just that he offers you this really good aura, a good wave of terror, all this utility coming out, and just plays it very sacrificial. They kind of need that defensive support against all this burst and initiation coming out from Empire. You know, you've got the Blink Jewel, you've got the charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker. If the Lina gets the LSA on somebody, you really want to just be able to save one of your cores here. I like this a lot from Mineski. I think this is a really well-rounded draft by them. The Empire.
Yeah, Empire needing their last pick. Looks like they're going to need an off-laner, I would say. I'm imagining that Legion, and the Legion could go in the off-lane in this game. I'm not really too sure.
Going to be their carry here.
Okay, all right. Let's bring the Troll Warlord out.
So the Troll's an interesting one. I think it's a decent matchup against the Pangolier in lane. Obviously, Pango not the best hero in the laning stage, but I think the main thing is this Troll Warlord matches up pretty well against the Gyrocopter. He's going to get his BKB online, get that SMY, try and basically just get in the face of the Gyrocopter and really just be annoying as you can in these team fights, because Gyro wants to be the one hunting you on the front lines. I think sometimes we see the Battle Fury from the Troll, which is going to be really interesting, but we saw Ramses go for that yesterday for VP. But I think most of the time we've been seeing they go for this Yasha, they go back for the BKB, then they go back to finishing off the SMY again. And they kind of just, because fighting is such an important part of Dota at the moment, it feels like, especially early on, more than ever before, it's important you get that early BKB. So let's see what Empire can do here.
Especially in this game as well. Like, they've got a lot of catch available, and I feel like the Troll could actually be a little bit vulnerable when it comes to that. You know, he's not the tankiest hero in the world, and I feel like if Mineski catch him out, then he could have a really bad game if they keep able to shut him down.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really important that Mineski do shut him down, like you say, because he is their big damage dealer. They do have the Nature's Prophet to be able to put the pressure on in this dual lane, and with Pango as well. Pango not a great laner necessarily in terms of putting pressure on. They might just kind of let Jabs kind of stay there at the beginning of the game, get level 2, get level 3, rotate around, try and get some more kills. Probably try and fight around the Gyrocopter early on. I think with the Rocket Barrage as well, I think Legion's going to have a fairly difficult lane. You know, if the Nature's Prophet TP's on top of Avenge Stun, they have the homing missile come through as well. They've got some good kills.
Yeah, all right. So game number 1, we're calling it for Mineski?
I would think so, yeah. I think their draft looks really solid, and Ice Pango, you can never put this man down, can you?
Ice Pango, it feels like a match made in heaven, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's a very nice hero to watch on him. One of his favorites for this tournament as well, as we saw, 100% win rate from 2 games. You know, obviously not the most reliable statistic, a very small pool there, but, you know, just proving that when he plays that hero, things have tended to go well for them so far. And, you know, they won a major, so clearly they know what they're doing with it.
And the thing that Ice does on this Pango as well, he builds all these aura items, like the Pipe, the Crimson Guard, and it really enables his team to come online. And I'd really like to see the Pipe burst from him this game, especially against the Lina and especially against the Leshrac. That's a lot of burst damage, and if he can survive, get that Rolling Thunder off, I don't think they have too many ways of killing him.
All right, so we do just have a little bit of a pause on our hands after they sort something out, or I'm not really too sure what's going on, but I'm sure we'll be back into it very shortly. So, who's the win conditions on these teams?
Definitely, on Empire, it's definitely the Troll. So Naive, if not many people know about Naive, I feel like. He's this 17-year-old from Kazakhstan. He's been performing relatively okay, I think. I used to play for Team Kazakhstan, if you guys know who they are. They've been in a few qualifiers recently in the CIS region. They've been performing okay, I think. Not really challenging like the Fly to Moons, the Empires, the Navis. Kind of just a little bit below them. So it's interesting to see Empire pick him Naive up. I think he was ranked 7 or something in the EU MMR leaderboards when they picked him up. So obviously he has some really good talent, and maybe Empire are looking to try and refine that and really help him push forward in his career, because he looks like a good player to me.
Sure, and you know, picking up these kind of interesting, mysterious young players has worked out for quite a lot of people.
Definitely OG. They're the ones off the top of my head. Of the people like Anna that were coming in at the time. And
EG.
EG as well.
Yeah, that's...
With Fear, yeah. OG.
Yes, Fear being a young kid.
But it'll be interesting to see whether Mineski, whether the losses before has affected their confidence, or whether they can really push forward with the momentum that they got from their win yesterday. So, yeah, going to be cool to see. Mushi, though, goes for this double mango. Feels like every hero needs to have at least 2 mangoes now during the start of the game. Become the new thing.
It's 3 or bust if you ask me. You got to get the mangoes down. Win the mango game. All right, let's get into it. Mineski versus Empire. We are green lights for go in the game, and I'm sure this is going to be an interesting one to watch. Most people probably favoring Mineski in this matchup, but you know, I think Empire's definitely got a bit of life in them and should not be discounted.
Yeah, Maposhka with the mid ward there on the Spirit Breaker goes and just puts it on the high ground. That's going to help the Lina harass the DK down relatively effectively, especially when it turns to night time. That's going to be the time that she needs to just try and survive these rotations that we were talking about from the Gyro, from the Venge. I imagine are going to come through, especially with the Nature's Prophet TPing on top. And so wherever the Radiant put their observer ward, they actually put it just next to the Roche pit. So they're going to be looking to see the Spirit Breaker charging in, I feel like, from that top-hand side of the map. I don't think That's the great place to put the ward, though, because, like you see, the Spirit Breaker is going to be doing the dual lane bottom with the Legion Commander. So I don't think that ward's going to give them too much information.
Oh, it's the battle of the taunts up at top as the Disco Pony does his thing, and Nature's Prophet also makes it rain, so pretty tense. Which the better taunt?
I love the Disco Pony one.
You gotta love the Disco Pony, dude. He gets a ball. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's a pretty close one if you ask me. Well, we need the analysis desk here for this thing. These sort of things, don't we? Yeah, we're pretty lost. Top
tier analysis. So in this mid lane, I think it's just going to be the DK gets Alina. It's just basically just going to be a trade lane. They've got the Breathe Fire, they've got the Dragon Slave, as you see, and they both just secure the range creeps, which is just what they want to do for now. Just push they both want to push the lane in, though. That's the main thing. Make sure the tower isn't under any threat, especially from the Lena's long range. And I'll see when the DK gets level 6 at some point too. My main worry for Mineski at this point is the bottom lane, because Venge Gyro isn't a particularly strong lane. They're against these two tanky heroes in the Spirit Breaker and the Legion, where the Legion has much higher base damage than the Gyrocopter early on.
Look at this harass coming out from Jabs here at this top lane, though. He's really laying it down, and Pango, yeah, he knows what's up. Ice with the three mangoes, one for each ice in his name.
Yeah, that seems to be the new off lane build. Almost every off lane hero, I feel like, and you see Jabs is doing a really good job of just denying every single creep that comes through. With the trees as well, obviously giving him more damage to get the last hits and making it pretty easy for himself. Oh, Ninja Boogie with a good job there of stopping the pull from...
Yep. They're going to try and punish him for it, though. I don't really see there being a kill. He throws down the stun as well, just to make sure he's okay.
This is pretty good from Ninja Boogie, though, because it opens up Ice to get some CS under tower, because he was struggling a little bit before, but Ice is obviously doing a pretty good job of CSing there.
Mushi, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Mushi.
God damn it.
It's going to be a long day. Oh, my word.
It's all right. It's only game one, you know. We're still warming up. It's like when you play Dota. You start up, you get into a pub game, and you have like 3 pudges rushing mid or whatever, and you're just like, all right, you know what? This is a warm-up game. This is exactly like, you know, warm-up cast, you know?
Yeah. Naive isn't getting free farm on this troll in the top lane, which is a really good thing for Mineski. Like we talked about, they need to shut him down early on.
Rocket Barrage coming out to Mapushka, but he does have that charge away, and we'll stop off for a quick Invis rune on the way.
Just take that away from the Mineski, because there's no point in him finishing off that charge there. He's going to have to head back to base, though, which is going to relieve some of the pressure on the Mineski safe lane. But yeah, this mid lane is they're just trading farm. If you look at the CS on the side of the stream there, it's very even.
Yeah, it's no clear-cut winners yet in this lane, although Ghostic with the harass onto Mushi, and the Gyrocopter's not enjoying that one too much. Yeah,
we don't see Legion off lane very much anymore. It tends to be a very niche pick now, but I still feel like it's very strong, especially against Gyrocopter with the Blink Duel, where you can burst, especially with the Laguna Blade as well. When you have this duel, you really want to be able to burst someone down quickly, get that damage, and then move on to another target and make it this 5v4 instantly.
Oh, Yoki paying a visit to the top lane. We'll come across Jabs here, and look at the harass damage which Jabs does. Ooh. That is pretty painful.
It's pretty big, but there's a charge coming in from Miposhka.
There is, and Naive is here as well, and they're going to land the Split Earth. Also on top of that, do they have enough damage to finish off Jabs? I think they very well do. He's trying to survive, he's trying to get out, but it's not quite going to work as the axe comes through and finishes off the Nature's Prophet. And that's your first blood going the way of the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, that's fantastic for Naive as well, especially with having not necessarily a rough lane, but a fairly difficult lane with from the Nature's Prophet and the Pango. You know, you can catch up in that gold from the first blood, and that's going to help him come online a little bit earlier. Oh, Yoki.
Yoki's in trouble here as the Treants are hitting him down. He's going to go for the Split Earth. We'll get it off before he dies. One final middle finger before he hits the grave.
Do you remember when I said that ward wouldn't do anything for them?
Yeah.
I was talking rubbish because it just gives Jabs the free kill. Gives Jabs the free kill on the Leshrac. That's a great play by them. And here we go. They're going to battle for the bounty rune here, I think. Oh no, Miposhka does walk away.
Just out. he doesn't want to trade hits with his Prophet.
He is not getting involved.
It's a little bit too hard, and he's got that little venom as well, which just makes it all the worse. So Mushi down here with only 14 CS in this safe lane, but you know, this is kind of what we're used to seeing. Mushi kind of plays almost not sacrificial, but just not the massive hard farming gyrocopters, and they don't put too much. Yeah, you're just going to fortify the courier there.
Jabs might look to TP back onto that courier though.
There's a charge coming through from Mapushka. And there's a lightning coming through, and the Split Earth does land with the axes and the attack damage from Mapushka and Naive. They will bring him down. Ice needs to get out of this one as well. It's a fair amount of damage. He does have to pop that wand, but he is going to be okay for now. Meanwhile, at bottom lane, Ninja Boogie's setting up onto Ghostic here,
Jabs is TPing in.
Yeah, they're going to use that missile, the anti-armor, now the stun as well. Mushi gets in range for the rocket barrage. The rocket does cut, and yeah, this guy's dead. Ghoster goes down.
He is in very deep trouble there. And you were talking about the gyrocopter getting pressured, but I like that both safe laners are getting pressured early on. I think that's definitely how you play
they're actually
now.
Completely neck and neck right now, 17 and 5 each. So
yeah. And the main thing is that the mid lane's kind of turned into this raw 1v1, it feels like now, where all the pressure's coming out onto the enemy safe lane, and your mid lane kind of feels like, I have to be able to handle myself, and maybe we get some of those raw 1v1 matchups come back.
Handling a man fight is what it's all about, but Ice is in a lot of trouble here as that bash comes through, and they will finish him off on the Troll Warlord as Ice does drop. Yeah,
that bash coming through from a post after the charge. Ice is not going to be happy about that one. He's going to be having a very sad time. Tears for Ice.
Yeah, that's the life of a Spirit Breaker. Sometimes you bash, sometimes you don't.
Here comes the TP by the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, they're just going to chase away Mineski here and up top. I think he's got a charge available, so not too much of a worry for him.
I think he was trying to wait for the bounty rune there, but quite early, about 20 seconds early, but not going to be able to sit that one out. I think they need to, both teams have gone on to... Did Radiant actually have a mid lane ward? Yeah, they do. Sorry, it was just there. And so this is really important when it hits the first night time, but especially with the heroes like the Spirit Breaker. We talked about the Venge coming through. Even Mushi, maybe when it gets to level 6, it's important that both teams see what's going on here now, because if one team has vision and the other one doesn't, the one that doesn't is going to be in some trouble.
I just want to point out the Gyrocopter bought some raindrops here, which is a little bit unusual, but I actually really like it versus the Legion Commander. She doesn't strike you as being one of these magic dealing heroes, but actually that... overwhelming odds, with the arrows coming down from the sky, it does damage based on how many units are in the circle, so that's does quite a fair amount of damage, and if you've got those raindrops, then it just means it basically doesn't do anything to you anymore. Yeah,
Mushi really needs his mana in that lane to be able to try and zone Ghost Stick as much as he can on that Legion Commander, so obviously keeping it topped up with the raindrops is always nice. I imagine he's probably going to be bringing quite a few clarities out as well to try and help him survive in that lane.
Chap's just trying to steal a last hit from the cliff there, doesn't quite manage it, and also gives his treants away, so... Not super efficient, but we know.
It's fine. Ice actually goes for that really early Javelin rush, even before the boots. Nice. So that's going to really increase his damage output. I don't know if you saw the swashbuckle there onto the Leshak, but it took almost half his HP away.
Yikes.
So kind of makes it very difficult up in that top lane now, and the harass going to come out from Ice is even deadly for the Troll Warlord, I feel like, especially if Jabs TP's in. Oh no, Yoki.
The Boogie are going to come in around on this Disco Pony. Oh my god! Ice sides with the early game damage. Blows him up. The charge is going to connect with this little Pangolier here. Just going to dive away.
Might be in trouble.
He's certainly low, but in comes Fefen, and oh my god, they just destroyed Ninja Boogie with that Laguna Blade, but Mineski, they're coming in for the counter-attack, trying to bring down Mineski here, chasing him down. They have that rocket barrage, and there is no way of charging out of that one, my friend. He goes down.
Yeah, this damage coming out from Ice with this early Javelin is absolutely huge, and it's so difficult for Empire to try and fight into it. And you see this early Mushi rotation. This is exactly what we were talking about, where he loves to get involved in these early fights. Didn't even have the phase boots, just the brown boots, Aquila raindrops, and he's like, yes, my hero is so strong at this point in time. There's no reason for me not to fight.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Let's go. And Ghost Stick will try and put on a bit of pressure on this bottom lane, but Jabs will TP in, and the power of the Prophet comes in as the counter push is there. Pushka maybe waiting in the trees or something here.
Yeah, they really want to give Jabs the level 6 in the bot lane so we can get that Wrath of Nature come online. That global damage is absolutely huge. It really increases your kill potential, especially around the map with very low committal from the Nature's Prophet. I like this a lot. This is why you see they're being very efficient with their farming, Mineski. They send Mushi to the jungle, let Jabs have the bot lane, and all around it means they're going to get some more gold across their whole team. Naive seems to be doing decently in his top lane though, on the troll.
Ice is baiting us all out with the Rolling Thunders, and Pushka, he's just AFK.
That's fine. I mean, the thing is, you never know when he's actually going to do it for real, so I love what he's doing, because now he's going to use it for real, and Ivy's going to assume that it was all fake before.
Yeah, they go quite early here. They're going to have to get under the tower. It doesn't even matter. Naive just dropping to all of that magic damage from Mushi.
Yeah, and this is why these global heroes have been coming into popularity so much more, like the AAs, the Nature's Prophets.
Mineski finally decides to leave the trees, and will immediately take some harassment Ninja Boogie.
He has the charge, I assume, though, so he'll be fine. But yeah, I was going to say, this is why the global heroes have come so much more into popularity, where, yeah, the Nature's Prophet, the AAs, even the Zeus we saw yesterday, Fly to Moon, Iceberg was picking it up. I think Liquid picked it up for themselves as well. Maybe it was Na'Vi, I can't quite remember, but this is, we thought it was going to be the mid lane that Mineski rotated to. It was actually the enemy safe lane, and when you kill this enemy safe lane tier 1, it's absolutely massive for you, because it opens up so much of the jungle that you can just run into and try and gank, and it gives you so much more area to farm where Empire just don't feel safe anymore.
Well, once again, Mineski just sitting in the trees, you know, waiting, playing that game.
Feels like we haven't really seen too much from Mineski on the Spirit Breaker this game.
We've seen him a lot. He's just been in the trees the whole time.
That's true, but I really like to see when you see this Spirit Breaker Leshrac support combo that you kind of go around together and get the kills. It feels like they've been quite separated so far, and I guess Ice is quite mobile on this Pango though, so it's pretty difficult for them to kill him unless they get the bash, which they did from Mineski before.
Yeah, true. Well, you usually see them waiting a little bit to get those levels up before they go around roaming together, because early level roaming on Spirit Breaker and Leshrac, it's not really that strong. You want to make sure you got at least kind of level 3 to 4.
That's true.
Especially on the Leshrac as well, because they're going to need his magic damage to actually be able to bring someone down, even if there is another core with him in lane.
Yeah, I'd like to see Mineski try and rotate around the DK here. Mushi is around this this mid lane at the moment, sorry, but they've popped the DK ult, they have the catapult, but there wasn't really anybody there to support him. It feels like that could have really turned into a push, but didn't quite materialise there for Mineski, and that's a massive ancient stack for them actually. And it's the trees from
he's
Jabs.
using the tree, and it's pretty smart. That is pretty smart.
Oh, and he's using the medallion as well, so he doesn't even have to draw aggro on the tree. I'm not sure it's going to get off.
Oh, no, they're blocking each other.
Yeah, when it gets to that 4 stack, it's difficult to get the 5th one. Okay, so Yoki's level 7 on this Leshrac now because the Troll Warlord rotated to the jungle. He's done exactly the same as Mushi did on the Gyrocopter, and it's allowed both their position forwards to come online and really get some levels. So we've gone for the 2-0-4 build on Leshrac. And he's actually going for the drums first build on the Leshrac. We've been seeing this a lot more. I think it was Lil that was doing it yesterday in the Na'Vi VP game as well. Gives you some good stats, gives you some movement speed, and obviously when you stack that, I imagine he's probably going to go for the Yules. Some people go for the Atos. But if you go for this drums Atos build, it gives you so much more stats and survivability.
Blink Dagger up on Ghostic. It might be go time for Empire as they try and get that first duel victory, and Mineski and Ghostic going to smoke up together and go and look for something in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have loved to have had the level 6 on Mineski by now, so they have that huge burst potential, but here you go. They don't need it because they've got
a Laguna Blade.
Yeah. Ice might be in trouble here on this Bangalore.
See what they can pull off as he cooks up that ulti for the 100th time. And now the damage comes out with the Lion Striker and the Laguna. They just take him out.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to do.
Although in from behind, Mushi and Ninja Boogie are here and they just completely clean up FN. The rest of Empire will have to try and escape from this one.
Oh yeah, and all of a sudden it's not very worth for Empire, is it? Losing your Lina for the Ice Pangolier when he's kind of just the team fight hero, it feels like, for Mineski. And he's not going to be the main damage dealer. Obviously, Gyrocopter still free farming away, having a pretty good time, and especially when he gets that Ancient stack at some point soon, he's really going to push forward.
And now with the...
What is that creep doing?
Thunder Hide. Dude, he's just a non-conformist. He's like, no, I'm not going to stay with the others. I'm too cool for them.
Yeah, not sure at the moment. There's a good ward by Empire, though, to spot out that Ancient stack from Mineski. And it means whenever they do go for it on the Gyrocopter, hopefully they can smoke up again, possibly. They've got the Jewel, they've got the Laguna Blade. They might be able to catch up Mushi by surprise. So looking for Mineski to try and defend that with Mushi when they go for it.
So let's take a step back, right? Both of these teams... Oh, never mind. Wait. No. Okay, Ghostic just faking us out. Okay, back to my original point before Ghostic really interrupted me with that pressy attack. Both of these teams, you know, you've got the Gyrocopter kind of DK lineup on one team, then you've got the Troll and the Legion on the other team. What kind of positioning are these guys looking to take this game? You know, Empire looking to basically just keep on ganking until it gets to the stage where their Legion commander is really strong, and then Trolls had loads of space. Talk about that. We have a jump on forwards, and I'm pretty sure Ninja Boogie is going to drop here.
Yeah, and the Radiant Crow was just killed. I'm not sure. I think it was going towards... Who's going for the blink? It's going to be for Ice in the bot lane.
Maybe the DK, but probably Ice.
I think it was probably Ice because the courier looked like it was going towards the bot lane and it got picked off while they were killing the Vengeful Spirit, which is really bad for Mineski. I'm sure it kind of really hurts Ice's teamfight potential at this point in the game. When you get that blink on Pangolier, it changes the dynamic of the game completely. So going to have to wait a few minutes for that one now.
So certainly makes him a lot more... gives him a lot more kind of usability of his ultimate, you know, rather than just rolling in one direction, and that turn speed really affects you. You can just blink around wherever you like, stun whoever you want. Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
FN has the Yules now on Lina as well, does pick up the Invis rune here, so probably going to try and look for something. He does have the Laguna Blade ready. Try and pair up with Ghostic again on this Legion commander and burst somebody down very quickly within the duel period. Mushi has to be their #1 target now, though, I think. Oh, they actually have the sentry, though.
Swap, and all of a sudden, oh my god, FN in a whole world of hurt.
What a sentry by Ninja Boogie, and this is the sacrificial position 5, you know? They didn't.
Was that a dewarding sentry?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so only so much credit you can do in Djibouti in that situation. But
the guy just knew. He's a god, you know.
Sure.
It's fine.
Okay.
And here comes the early Mineski 5-man that they love to do. Just group up. What does Mushi have? I imagine he's probably got the drums and going to go for that BKB next. Just get that relatively early team fight to answer your question before, where you were saying about what the win conditions were for both teams.
Oh, never mind. They're going to be interrupted yet again as they go onto the Pangolera. Don't think they get this kill in time, though.
The Shrine.
Jabs comes in. Ninja Boogie's here as well, and the Shrine healing him right back up. Ghost Stick just running away. Swords out, but guess who's giving chase? Ice with the Grand Chase, but we'll look over to Yoki getting finished off here, and now the chase is on, and looks like Ghost Stick is gone.
Yeah, I think he blinked TP'd away.
Oh no, he died.
Oh, he did die?
Yeah, Mushi caught him.
Oh.
On the field.
I feel like I should have seen that one, but it's okay. Never mind. We're fine. Just dropping the flame. So, yeah, this is massive for Mineski as well. That's really going to help them on the DK and the gyro get towards those key items. And Naive is actually going for that Battle Fury on the Troll. That's pretty surprising, I feel like, because now that he has that Battle Fury, I think that's really going to hinder his fighting early on. And we've seen that Mineski are going to group up on the gyro and the DK and try and take towers relatively early. You see that because of this fighting that's going on, where the gyro and the DK can fight much better than the Empire side, they are pulling ahead now, and I feel like it's only going to get more and more when they get their BKBs online. And
I think Empire are looking more to kind of go for the pickoffs and kind of leave their troll to farm. You know, this Legion, this Leshrac, this Lina, this Spirit Breaker, they can all make so much space, and they are actually getting Ice brought down here with the Split Earth as well, and the Duel, and that's going to be another one for Ghost Stick.
I'm sure he would have loved to have had his blink
he's
there.
nearly got 4,000 duel victories.
4,000 duel victories? Oh, I thought you meant this game. No.
Oh. Dude. I know it's early, but
it's fine. Yeah, look, here you go. Mushi's got the drums. He's almost got the BKB online now, only about 200 gold away. And when he gets that online, I imagine they're probably going to go for the Roshan. They do have the medallion on Jab's Nature's Prophet, and that's going to increase their Roche potential massively. Oh, and the smoke the scan comes out from the Radiant as well that does see Empire there, which means that Jabs is probably going to have to be really careful here in this top lane, because he knows that they're going to try and be looking for somebody. There you go, and there's the Battle Fury finish on the Troll as well. That's really going to help his farm potential. Obviously, they're kind of doing this 4 protect 1 Empire, but it's not really 4 protect 1. It's kind of a 4 make space for 1, if that makes more sense. But like you said, they want to go for these pickoffs with the duel with the Laguna, and then just let Naive farm on this Troll. He is the win condition player for Empire a lot of the time. I think we saw FN on Morphling yesterday, where they lost the game 3 against LGD, so I was surprised to see him playing the win condition hero for Empire at the time. But they've gone back to what they know here on Empire, and Naive sticking to his guns. And he's actually gone for a hood on Jabs.
Mushi picks up the BKB though, that's the big one, and guess what? They're going to be looking to fight with this bad boy. Yeah. The Black King Bar, giving you full spell immunity, and it's kind of useful this game, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And that Dire Observer actually didn't quite spot out the Radiant Smoke, so I think it's no fear in here in this top lane. Might be in a slight bit of bother.
Yoki.
They find him here, they pop the drums.
The tree line, they're going to use a cooldown, but Yoki just able to get out of it. And do they even find him here? He's just juking and diving through this tree line, having a little walk through the forest, and Mineski are completely lost.
Yeah, and that's the movement speed from the drums as well. It gives you so... like, the Lesh is already a fast hero. And then you put the drums on top. I think he was on 400 movement speed.
The lightning goat strikes again.
How do you catch him? Crazy. And Ghost Stick and... Maposha sitting in this mid lane waiting to see if somebody will go on FN, and the Mineski say, no, we're just going to take your tier 2 in the top lane instead. Yeah,
and that pushing power is pretty immense with those treants and with that DK. And now jumping forwards, Ice getting caught out again. They'll use a Laguna Blade just to finish that one up though. Umushi coming in from behind, not forgetting he has this BKB available, so they're just going to keep him stunned up for now and try and get away. Jabs unable to find the Sprout. They do get the stun onto Maposhko, now jumping him back. And I don't think this TP is going to go through, as Mushi will finish him off there.
Yeah, I think Mineski might be able to head into the Roshan pit now, possibly. Okay, no, Naive's pushing in the bot lane. They need to deal with that first, so not going to be a Roche for now. But there is an Arcane Rune in the top lane, which it looks like Moon's going to be able to grab, which is going to help him a bit. Unfortunately, he did just pop the DK ult, so probably not going to have it for the effect of the Arcane Rune.
Yep, Naive just gives up on that bottom lane. I was thinking, like, maybe he's actually going to try and go on the gyro here and hope for the bashes, but that would have been a pretty crazy and probably quite stupid move, which only I'd make.
Yeah, I love that he's going for the BKB on the Troll next as well. Sometimes we do see the Asher first, sometimes the full SMY, but he needs to make sure he gets that early BKB online, otherwise he's not going to be able to fight into the DK and gyro at all, and they're just going to kite him around, and there's nothing he can do then. We talked about the Roche potential from Mineski with the medallion on Jabs. There's some really good Roche potential on the Dire as well from Empire, because they have this Troll. And with the with the press the attack as well from the Legion. The attack speed is pretty big, especially with the Lina right-click damage coming through. So all it takes is one good team fight from either side, and if the Troll survives, that's it's going to be a Roshan for Empire. And I feel like if the DK survives or the Gyro...
Oh, another day, another duel as Ice just being hunted this game. And Ghostic finds another that could be in trouble here as that anti-armor comes in, and the stun to follow up as well. Dragon Tail fire, everything onto Ghostic, but you know, he got his duel victory, so worth. Poshka.
Oh no, the roaming missiles following him.
Yeah, he's actually got a wand, so he does just about survive. And there is...
Jabs
Jabs is coming in, and Moon actually gets the fire off on him, blinking up onto the high ground there to find that kill on Maposhka.
Oh, and they did actually just put an observer where a sentry ward down was by Empire, so that's going to get spotted out if they do walk over that way, but not for now. And this is what I mean, yeah, they get a... Mushi?
I mean,
move the camera somewhere else.
Doesn't want to get stunned by Roche, you know? Like, it's efficiency, I think.
Yeah, he's really scared of this Lesh just throwing out a Split Earth as well, or an LSA coming out from the Lina. It's a really safe Roche there from Mineski. It's a good play.
You said that so seriously, I almost believed you for a minute. I was like,
So yeah, that is the Aegis on Mushi now, which is going to really help his fighting potential. Might see him go for the SMY, or he might even just rush the Butterfly, I feel like. Obviously the evasion is going to be very good against the Troll, and he's nowhere near an MKB yet at this point in time.
Look at Yoki down here, just sitting in the trees. And now the pings come out and they realize that there is... Jab's going to find him.
Jab's might
Split Earth is there. No, Yoki's just going to stun and TP himself out of here, but they get the Dragon Tail off just about in time. And poor old Yoki. He had a dream of taking a tower with a Diabolic Edict, but unfortunately his dream was stopped. It
just reminds me of the Lesh level 1 that people used to sit in mid lane with the Diabolic Edict and just hit that
yeah, just sit in the trees.
Yeah, and just kill the tower. But Yoki's doing a really good job on Lesh Track though of just pushing out the lanes here and really forcing Mineski to react, because if they didn't have this thing to react to, that where Yoki was putting the pressure on them, Mineski would just be like taking every tower at the moment, I feel like, and doing whatever they want, because they are stronger than Empire at the moment.
She could be in trouble. Actually, no, they're going to try and go onto Moon. No, they're trying to get away, I think. Yeah, they killed...
Dual Mushi and brought him down.
He brought the Gyrocopter down, yeah. He went for that duel. That was quite impressive.
Can he get Ghostic?
I think he dies here, though. He takes the Aegis, but now trying to get away. But where do you go? He's got his blink in 1 second. Blink. He will be able to blink, gets into the trees, and should get out here. So very good play by Ghostic there. Able to bring down that Aegis and get himself away. And of course, getting that duel damage when that Gyrocopter goes down.
And this is the problem. Troll doesn't have the BKB yet, and Moon and Mushi are ready because there's no duel. Why not just like get some chip damage on this tower? I don't think they'll be able to bring it down, but at least get some decent damage on it.
Yeah, force back some TPs and then clear out, although there is a yields up onto Moon. Mushi just going for the zoning cooldown, and Moon actually popping that BKB, so...
Yeah, if he didn't, I think he would have been brought down there by the burst from Empire, so they just need to get out now, and FN's chasing.
He's looking for something here. He might get the stun off onto Jabs, who goes for the early TP and will regret it as the duel comes out, and they get yet another kill.
That's another duel win. I think he's sitting
86 damage.
That's ridiculous. We're only 23 minutes into the game, and he's got 86 damage on the Legion. He's just won. When he duels the Pango now, he doesn't even need any backup anymore. We talked about how he needed the Lina for the burst in the duel.
Yeah, Ice has basically been a vending machine this game. He's playing vending machine Dota, where you know, the Legion commander just goes, oh, 1 damage please, and Ice goes, coming up, and unfortunately does go down. But that is the weakness, you know, Pango not that strong versus Legion commander as it turns out.
I really like that ward that Maposhka just put down on that cliff. He's near the Radiant Secret Shop. That's really difficult to de-ward for Mineski, and because it's such an awkward position. Like, they're not going to think about looking to de-ward there.
Mushi could be in trouble. Ghostic is ready. They get the stun off and what a light strike array as well, but in comes Ice with the defensive bomb.
It's fine. It happens. I really hate that when you play Pango and you just come into that choke point where you just bounce around. Oh God, Ice Frog, please just make this easier for me. So yeah, Moon with the BKB. We didn't talk about that before, but did have it in the middle of that fight where when they were pushing the high ground. With that double BKB on both their cores, they're so much more scary. But you see Naive, he's on top of this net worth chart now, and he's only going to get stronger.
Uh-oh. Yoki, is he in trouble here?
Yeah,
Moon's doing the damage, Jabs is here as well, and Yoki will go down. But yeah, as you were saying, the Troll Warlord is on top of the net worth, and, you know, BKBs don't really help you out versus Troll Warlord, you know? He doesn't really care about BKBs. Obviously, the lack of lockdown on these enemy heroes is going to be big, but I feel like with this Troll, with a little bit more farm, he could actually start to find a bit of coming ahead in this game, and the interesting one for me is Ghostic, right? Look at how far down the net worth chart Ghostic is. Oh wow, what a dramatic net worth chart.
So it's pretty big. Yeah, I see what you mean though about Ghostic. But they're the two off-laners. They're kind of just all these heroes feel like they're at relatively the same point. Like if you look, Ghostic and Ice are the same. Jabs and Yoki are the same net worth, and Ninja Boogie and Miposhka, they're both at the same net worth as well. It's only really naive on this troll that's really pulling ahead of his I was going to say compatriot, but that would mean they're on the same team. That's not really his enemy.
His enemy, his arch nemesis. Yeah, so whilst Ice and Ghostic are kind of neck and neck in terms of net worth, I think game impact is a much different story.
Yeah.
Because this Legion is having a pretty nice time in this game.
He's having a great time, and this Dire Observer Ward might know that something's going on here with a Dire Ancient stack, and I think Mineski might look to try and smoke up soon again with their BKBs. They really need to try and make something happen soon because they're at their strongest point in the game now, I feel like. They've hit their power timing with these BKBs.
They are going for it. They're going to run into Mineski as a 5 as they jump straight onto Mushi with that ulti and the duel as well. Can they bring him down in time? They certainly can. Ninja Boogie going to drop as well. Moon just trying to do his best, but he is being torn apart as Empire take a very convincing fight. Ice just trying to run away. Oh my god, turns it around and just gets an easy kill onto the Lena as she runs out there.
Yeah, FN not quite respecting the damage coming out from Ice there, but fantastic fight from Empire.
What a fight from Empire, my word.
Oh, and all of a sudden, the problem is, now the game looks really difficult for Mineski because this troll is absolutely huge, and he outscales the gyrocopter and the DK. Like, at what point now in the game are you going to be stronger than Empire?
Oh, stun out. And
no.
He's got the damage to bring down Jabs here, especially with the stun in from Miposhka to cancel that TP. And then is going to be Jabs eating the dirt. Ice just has to watch as his tier 2 takes a ton of damage. I'm going to blink back to his base, in fact, but...
When you have a troll on your team, you win one fight, and that's it. Like, there's a tower gone. He pushes so quickly, and he hasn't even got that many kind of damage items yet. I imagine he's probably going to go for the MKB at some point soon, maybe even the SNY first, but he's only going to get stronger. How do Mineski deal with this now? They have to burst him down. If Empire get the jump and the troll doesn't get controlled, he's just going to run absolutely riot across these fights.
Yeah, you got to control the troll.
I see what you did there. Oh, this is interesting. Yoki's actually gone for a Spirit Vessel on the left track. I don't think we've seen too much of this. We tend to be. We've seen the Aether Lens, we've seen the Yules a lot, we've seen the Atos, but I'm surprised Miposhka hasn't gone for the into Spirit Vessel, but he's not getting gold, and they obviously really value this item when they're up against the Gyro, up against the DK especially as well, with his regen from the Dragon's Blood. I think the Spirit Vessel's a really valuable pickup from them.
I just like to apologise as well. You know, you've done so well today and yesterday as well, not managing to say that specific phrase, which seems to set some people off. And I was the first one to drop the ball today. You know, yeah, I'm very sorry about that.
That's okay. I'll let you off.
Formal apology from me there.
So,
from Nomad to Mo Farah.
Lena hits the level 20 now, gets to the Fiery Soul stack. So Lena obviously is going to get to this point now where it's kind of only been magic damage so far with the pick-off, but now she has that really. We've seen kind of like Daedalus and Bloodthorn come out from the Lenas at this point in the game, and with the Fiery Soul damage, it really increases their damage output.
Big smoke from Empire coming forwards once again. I mean, it went so well last time, why not try it? However, Gyrocopter has just picked up a butterfly, but here we go straight away onto Mushi, and with the Laguna Blade, with all that damage, the Blade Man as well coming in huge, and they're just going to rinse Ninja Boogie as well. Ice coming in backline doing a great job of knocking everybody down, but what does it matter when your damage hero is gone? Although Ghostic is dropping low here. It's only the Legion Commander though. She does die, but Naive getting the damage off, and FN as well with those Fiery Soul stacks. They're going to send up the Nature's Prophet, comes back down, and they will just chop him up. Empire with another fantastic fight, take down 4 heroes on Mineski, and Ice, well, he's been on the receiving end of a lot of these ganks previously, but he does manage to survive once again, so 2 team fights in a row. Ice is the only survivor.
Empire know that the key target for them here is Mushi on this gyrocopter, and it doesn't matter. You just blink duel him, and he cannot do anything. Like, they have the swap from Ninja Boogie on the Venge, but it's just not enough to save him.
He picks up that butterfly, and immediately the Legion Commander just blinks on him with that blade mail, and it's like, oh, okay, good job. I'm killing myself.
Who cares about the butterfly though? Look what the troll's got. He's just picked up an MKB. So now all of a sudden the butterfly just doesn't do anything. I
mean, I kind of feel like the butterfly is actually a pretty bad item this game, because it doesn't seem to matter what the Gyrocopter does. He's getting himself dueled. I mean, admittedly, that time the ward was the massive point of that fight. But, you know, I would have expected a bit more of a tanky item, maybe a satanic or something like that, just to keep himself alive in these fights.
The thing is, the butterfly gives him so much effective HP still, because there's a lot of the Lina right clicks, the troll right clicks, the Legion right clicks, but he's got it too late now, because with the troll Battle Fury, I did kind of talk about how it might not be that good, but they've managed to get this greed to pay off for them. They've got to this point in the game now where the Battle Fury has really helped him farm, and he's so far ahead of the Gyro and the DK now, because they don't have the farming items that the troll do. I just don't see how Mineski can find a way back into this game. They need to lock this troll down. They have to find a way to just keep him stunned. They need to get the jump themselves.
I think if Mineski take a fight on their own terms, they might be okay. Yeah. And this is exactly what they're doing now. It's definitely by no means impossible for them. And Moon just staying right out of sight here, jumping straight onto Miposhka, but Naive is just behind them, but in comes the Ice Ball, and they'll finish off Miposhka, getting the stun, getting Troll inside this little, oh my god, Ice just gets a solo kill on the highest net worth enemy carry. Excuse me?
Look how much gold he just got, by the way, from killing Naive.
Excuse me?
1,300 gold.
Alright, so Pangolier just takes a giant leap forwards. For pretty much all Pango pickers everywhere, is
it? OS Frog, please. That was ridiculous. I mean,
catching him off in that choke point, absolutely huge. Yeah, there's just nothing he could do about that.
We talked about how important it was for Mineski to get a fight on their own terms, and they finally did after the Empire being the aggressive ones. And it just turns out it does wonders for them, because not only do they kill the troll, they've turned it into an objective, and they get this Roche. Not only is that fantastic for them to allow them to try and hit this timing a bit better, it means Mushi's not going to get burst down by the Legion anymore, because he's going to come back alive. And then it stops the troll from getting the Aegis as well, which is so important for Empire to try and really push forward and take objectives for themselves. Or Mushi. Okay, he does blink away on Ghost Stick. Yoki has to really run away.
I think Yoki could be in trouble. Jeez, he's so fast. 550 movement speed.
Pops the drums as well. He's max movement speed now with the drums. This is interesting. Oh yeah, this is another reason for the Spirit Vessel. Obviously, just more movement speed. You have the drums, you have the vessel movement speed as well coming out. I think it's through the Windlace component, and then he's probably got the talent as well, the 40 movement speed. How do you catch him? Rapid Disco Pony.
Yeah,
it's like he's from the 80s. Come on, man.
They have the what, is everybody in the 80s fast?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
So Mushi there, in a pretty dangerous position farming, but they do have that ward up on the high ground next to the Dire bot tier 2, so he's going to feel relatively safe. They're going to try and pick this one off here. Empire did pick up a gem. We didn't mention this before. They're trying to kind of close the map out for Mineski and not make them feel very safe, because they only really have this observer ward on next to the Dire bot tier 2, and apart from that, not too much going on for them. They don't see a lot. Yeah, that is the tower gone though, so well played by Mineski to finish that one off.
So I feel like there's a big difference in these two teams, in that when Empire took a fight, what did they get with it objective wise? You know, like maybe a tier 1, a tier 2. Mineski take one fight and they take a Roche and a tier 2 with it. They just take this momentum, and admittedly, like the Roche is partly down to timing as well, but you know, Mineski just slightly better with their timings and slightly better with doing more with what they were given. Yeah,
that's probably because they're fighting on the Empire side of the map, though. Problem is, when Empire win a fight, they're not really taking the fight to Mineski. I just want to say Legion picked up a BKB as well.
So I would actually disagree. Both of the fights were on
that's true,
the radiant side of the map, I think.
Yeah. But they hadn't really got that many towers before that, actually, hadn't they?
Yeah, yeah, that's a big difference. And also, when Roche isn't up, you know, you can't do him.
That's true. So yeah, Ghost Stick has a BKB now on that Legion, so the Rolling Thunder's not going to be so much of a problem. Obviously, Mushi with the magic damage not going to be too much of a problem. So now when he duels, they don't really have any way of stopping it apart from the swap, which just isn't enough. And then I'm not sure if you saw as well, Troll just picked up a blink. So he can basically just get on top of the backlines now. So when Ghost Stick blinks in and duels, Naive on this Troll can also just blink in and burst whoever the Legion's dueling.
So I think Empire are kind of trying to avoid Mineski at this point in the game. You know, they've got that Aegis, they've got the cheese as well. But then again, I think if Empire get the right jump, they might be able to take it. They're actually going to go for a smoke, and I honestly don't know who's going to win this fight.
There's no reason for them not to do this. They're still a lot stronger than Mineski at this point.
Although Moon just jumped straight into everything, and they're actually going to go for the duel. And who have they caught there? It's actually Moon going down on that Dragon Knight, and they're just running forwards with these BKBs. Ninja Boogie caught in the middle of it all. He'll be an easy pick-off, but Mushi coming in the back line is going to be able to take out FN. Meanwhile, in the front, they try to take down Ice, but they can't quite do it. Ninja Boogie somehow still alive. Jab's also trying to give chase. The swap back onto Naive helps him back a little bit there, perhaps, but they do still still finish him off. 2 heroes dead on the side of Empire, 1 dead on the side of Mineski, as Ghostic just trying to get out of this one. Yoki as well. Well, I'm not sure that was a fight they wanted. They get the early duel off onto Moon, but they lose Naive and FN for that engagement.
Yeah, the thing is they really didn't want to duel Moon. That's not their initial target. They really want to get Mushi, but it doesn't matter because if Moon shows himself, that's the one they have to go on.
300 damage coming out from Mushi that fight.
Ridiculous. And now he has the DD. Look how quickly they push this tower. When the creeps come in, it's just going to completely go. And this might just be mid-racks because the Troll doesn't have buyback.
Yeah, they've got the buyback on the Lina, but is it enough?
I'm not sure.
Well, we're going to find out. We should just go straight up onto the high ground
with the DD.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And they do get the split Earth off. Light Strike Array should follow. And now the duel as well. He's going to be swapped out though, running straight back in. And they don't just have the damage. Actually, Laguna Blade, Ninja Boogie of all people. They do finally finish off the gyro. But yeah, once back again with the Aegis. And Ice gets to work on the racks. Mushi will join him as he gets up these stairs. And Empire just have to go back to base as they drop low on health and mana whilst their racks are falling. But in they come for round number 2. Do we have that duel available anytime soon?
They've just used it. They've used the Laguna. They've used the duel. What do they have now to defend their racks?
That's the power of the Aegis. As the cooldown comes through, they will be forced to back out, and it looks like they will not be able to defend their middle barracks. 10 seconds still on Naive. Moon coming quite far forwards here. They do have that sentry.
Split Earth. Oh, it does just miss.
Just about off.
Look, you saw in that fight before the Empire, they get on top of Moon, they pop the duel and they pop the battle trance from the Troll, and they have so much attack speed and they burst someone down really quickly. But then, after that, where's their damage coming from? Where's their lockdown? Because Mineski just popping their BKBs and then they just have nothing else. It feels like they're throwing every single thing they have, the whole kitchen sink at one person, and then Mineski say, okay, well, Mushi's still alive. Who cares? We're just going to fight you.
I mean, that is a point with this Aegis, but now this Aegis is gone, I feel like Empire is in a much better position to fight Mineski here. And Mineski actually sticking around, maybe looking to get a pick-off or something. Yeah. Just to try and stop Empire running at them, I think. Yeah,
this is a really smart pickup by Moon as well. He's actually going for the Halberd on the DK, which is going to be fantastic against the Legion, the Troll, and the Lina. Especially the Lina if he can get on top of her, because they don't have too much gap close on the side of Mineski, and they really need to try and get on top of this Lina, especially in the late game, where she's going to be really outputting a lot of physical damage. And if she is quite squishy still, so if they do get on top of her, you know, they can blink stun her and bring her down relatively quickly before she gets the BKB off. And there is still the cheese on Moon as well. That's going to really help him. I think Moon needs to try and put himself between the Legion and the Gyrocopter. He needs to be the one that needs to try and eat the duel in the first place, because
that all depends if Empire get to take the fight on their terms or not. Which is basically, I feel like the team that's initiating this game are winning.
But that's why vision is so important in Dota. And Mushi does have the Lincoln Sphere as well to help with the duel, but with the Legion, I imagine the Legion's probably got a Halberd or something as well to help deal with that Lincoln Sphere. But yeah, vision's so important in these fights because, like you said, the jump is so important for both these teams at the moment. They need to pick off the right targets. They need to get they need to control the Troll, and the other Empire need to get on top of Gyrocopter straight away to try and burst him down. And here we go. This is really cool by Mineski. They're just waiting here, hovering.
Oh, the swap back as they actually managed to catch out Naive, but they can't quite bring him down before he gets that BKB off, so he will get away from this. The swap is wasted, but not too much overcommitment from Empire. Yeah,
fantastic press the attack there by Ghostic. Moon did use the Dragon Tail, but Ghostic was there instantly to press the attack off the stun, which allowed Troll to pop the BKB so he could just run away. Really good play by Empire.
Knife was completely ready for that. Yeah, like, really, really nice little a cute play between the two boys.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like they were ready. The thing is,
oh sure, they know what's going to happen. There's a vengeful spirit on the other team, you know, you're always ready.
When you think about other sports though, especially, like, they tell you to always stay on your toes and things, and it feels like in Dota, that it applies to that as well. And Ghostic, it felt like he was definitely on his toes there. He was ready to just help his teammate out. And Moon here is invis, but I think Yoki's, they're just going to pass by each other for now.
So what you're trying to say is Dota is exactly the same as a regular sport?
Let's not even have that argument now. There's I feel like people are very 50-50 on that one. That's a great ward though. Did you see that by Empire? They didn't put it on the first cliff, but they put it on the cliff just to the right of it. You know, a little bit of a difference. You know, they're just throwing the curveballs out every now and then.
Keep it interesting, keep it fun.
It feels like that was similar to the top ward next to the Radiant Secret Shop as well, where they're just throwing a slightly different position, you know. But now with the gem that the Mineski have, they're going to be able to just completely shut out the map. And yeah, look at the vision for Empire. This is
1 minute until Roche is up.
Oh, that's a great ward by Mineski though. it's pretty difficult to spot out. Because unless you're running to the side of your base for some reason or running down the bot lane, you're just not going to see it at all. And most people just leave the base through the middle lane. So.
All right, Empire, what's the plan? You know, they're starting to fall behind in this game.
Oh,
they're losing
here we
momentum.
Go. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but we're seeing it again.
Not again.
It's the Mushi Basher gyro. You say not again, it worked last time.
It did, and it made me physically ill to see that. So we had a game, I think it was versus LGT?
Yeah, against the Jug.
Against a Juggernaut who was trying to spin TP out. And Gyro just, seeming out of nowhere, picked up a Basher and just bashed him first hit when he was trying to TP away. And I was physically sad for that Juggernaut.
How can you be sad if it works? It was amazing. And it's the same again, though. The Legion's going on top of him. If he can bash the Legion during the duel, it might just keep him alive. It's a really small thing, but it's a great play by Mushi because it's what's going to keep him alive in this game, which is really what he's struggling with at the moment.
And now they're going to go maybe onto Moonio. Fantastic rolling thunder from Ice locks them down, keeps them there as well. Naive is able to get that BKB off, but Ghostic is not. And now Naive will go down as well. This is a terrible fight for Empire. They need to get out of this one. They do have the buyback available on their Troll Warlord. Yoki just trying to get back, and Empire will full retreat, but Roshan is up. And if Mineski know about it, then I'm sure they will be heading in that direction, but they actually ping out bottom and want to force out some buybacks.
Yeah, they need to force this Troll buyback because then that gives them the win condition that they've been looking for. You know, this Troll's is a massive problem for them, but they've been dealing with it really well. Fantastic play by Moon there.
Counter initiation from Ice. I mean, he just caught both of them completely off there, and that's the power of the Blink Dagger on Pango. As you say, completely changes a hero and gives you this super strong initiation, which you just don't see coming.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Mineski haven't gone to try and force the Troll buyback there. But they do take Roche relatively quickly, so they might be able to take it here and then just go back to the bot lane and try and force it right just before he's up, because otherwise they might get a melee Rax here. It's going to be close. And this is the refresher orb as well. The refresher shard, sorry.
The shard.
And I imagine they're probably going to give it to Pango. I'm not too sure. The DK has got it for now, but I imagine this double rolling thunder could be massive for them. After we've been seeing how much work it does, that's a lot of Ice's damage.
It's certainly an option. I'm not sure myself. I feel like there could be another receiver off it. I almost like it on the Dragon Knight just to get that Dragon form up again, but we'll see.
It is good on the Dragon form, and it's also good for if you go for a double stun, which might be absolutely key at this point in the game. If you can stun the Troll twice or stun the Lina twice, it's almost just as good as the Dragon. It's such
to be honest, you're right. Yeah.
It's such a long duration stun. There's no reason for you not to pop it just for that. Yoki on this Lesh is probably going to be in trouble here.
Oh, Blinker, but Yoki, he's just so fast on this horse.
Couldn't quite catch him up there. And Ice, he actually picks up the Crimson Guard as well. And suddenly that makes the Legion Commander a bit less scary. Makes the Lina and the Troll a bit less scary.
Again, he doesn't get away. He doesn't learn his lesson. And now they're chasing him down. He gets thrown up into the air. When he hits the ground, though, it will be with a thud as Yoki gets taken down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if people know this about Pango, but when you use the shield crash, if you use it during the ult, and then use the swashbuckle on top of the target, it actually uses the shield crash where you land with the swashbuckle as well. So cool little interaction there to let you increase your damage on Pango.
You can call it an interaction, and you can also call it a bug. And I don't think you would be incorrect.
It's not a bug.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Definitely meant to be like that. It's been in the game long enough.
Okay. True. If
look at this
they could have
damage.
fixed it by now.
This damage from Moon is crazy. He's actually hitting for about 300, and he doesn't. It's only from the Vengeance Aura that's really giving him the damage. And it kind of makes up for it kind of really amps their physical damage where they kind of lack a little bit of it, especially in the mid game. Gyro and DK do scale well into the late game though, so with this Vengeance Aura on top, they are hitting like trucks at the moment. They have putting the Lincolns on the
Moon
DK.
Jumping forwards, doesn't quite get the stun off.
A good blink there by Ghostic. That was really, really close.
12 seconds until Yoki's here.
And there's no reason to not just hit this
swap
building.
out. Who's it got in there? They are big, and they just get taken down. It's Ghostic who goes down right now. As Naive coming in, trying to do the damage, but just can't find anything here. He's going to have to buy back immediately. Ghostic also buying back as well, but it's going to be too late for their barracks, I think, as their melee rate does fall. Range still remains.
Moon kills off Maposhka as well at the back of the fight, and so that's 3 buybacks there by... yeah, 3 buybacks there by Empire, and this is great for Mineski. They're not even low on any of their heroes. Empire just couldn't fight into them at all. There's the Aegis on Mineski, so all of this burst damage coming out from Empire just suddenly it's negligible because they really want to kill Mushi. If they don't kill Mushi, then
Abyssal Blade up on Mushi as well. This is certainly a sticky situation for Empire to find themselves in.
I love that he just goes Abyssal Blade on Gyro. People talk about how it's impossible to build like Basher on any ranged heroes. I know Bulldog's coming later on into the event. He's a big fan of the Basher sniper, but Basher gyrocopter, this is where it's at. I mean, why not? It works so well this game, and if items work, there's no reason to flame them. I'm putting you down, man.
Sure. I wasn't flaming the guy. I just felt really bad for the Juggernaut. I mean, who expects to be bashed by a gyrocopter?
That's true. And Troll's item progression, within about the last 10 minutes, it feels like it's been pretty non-existent because they've been just sitting in their base.
Well, he's been respawning for a lot of it as well.
That's very true. Yeah, here they go. They're just going to head over to this top lane now. They do still have the Aegis, the cheese. Yeah, the Aeon Disc on their Shrek is going to help, but
he's actually above on net worth than the Legion Commander, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, Ghostic had a great start on the Legion Commander, but it's kind of just, it's so single target. And when Mineski have all these different heroes that you need to focus, if you don't kill Ice, we've been seeing how much work he does with this Rolling Thunder. If you don't kill Mushi, he's going to be adding massive amounts of damage. And if you don't kill Moon, he's a massive tank, and he will be so durable in these fights, and you can't ignore him anymore because he does so much damage with the Venjora.
He does damage as well, like, you know, it's a bit of everything. Mostly tank, though.
Yeah.
And up we go, onto the high ground. Use that sieging power. Mushi paying a little visit up here as well. Rocket will be out onto Yoki.
This tower goes down so quickly though for Mineski.
Empire just can't let another pair of racks fall like this.
They have to go on somebody here, but the Lincolns is just being used on Moon over and over again, and he's just standing here.
There goes that Aeon Disc, and the moment it runs out, they go straight in. Naive trying to do the damage to Moon here. Can they bring it down? Meanwhile, the duel is out to Mushi, who's winning this duel. It actually looks like Mushi's going to be on top as he does take down the Legion Commander, and now Naive also going to fall, and that is the big hero as the Troll hits the deck. GG is called, and it is going to be Mineski that take game number 1.
Fantastic performance from Mineski. They look like they're going through a bit of a rip of that game. Obviously, Empire taking some really good fights with a couple of smokes they did. Ghostic building up massive amounts of damage on the Legion, but Mineski did a really good job.
Already shattered.